If you watched my last video and recognized yourself in the descent, the next question is usually, okay, but what do I do now? Because when your life feels like it's falling apart, and maybe it is, most of us respond in the same way. We try harder, we push ourselves, we look for answers, we try to become the person we were before. But the descent asks something very different of us. It asks us to stop fighting ourselves while we're moving through it. The first thing I'd invite you to do is stop measuring yourself by your old capacity. This is one of the kindest things you can do for yourself. You keep looking back at the version of you who could work all day, look after everyone else, make decisions easily, keep the house running, answer every message, and wondering why you can't do that anymore. But that version of you belonged to a different chapter of your life. She was carrying a very different reality. Expecting yourself to function in exactly the same way isn't motivation. It's another way of telling yourself you're failing, and you're not. You're grieving a version of you that no longer fits. The second thing is, make your nervous system the priority. When we're frightened, the mind wants certainty. It wants answers. It wants to know what happens next. Will things work out? Will I be okay? When will this end? But your body isn't asking those questions. Your body is asking, am I safe today? Those are two very different conversations. Sometimes looking after yourself isn't about finding clarity. Sometimes it's eating a proper meal, drinking some water, getting enough sleep, standing outside for 5 minutes and letting your body remember that not everything is dangerous. Regulation doesn't always feel peaceful. Sometimes regulation simply means making today survivable. The next thing I'd encourage you is to make your world smaller. When you're in the descent, every decision can feel enormous. How do I rebuild my life? What career should I choose? Should I move? Should I stay? Who even am I now? They're understandable questions, but they usually don't have answers yet. So instead, ask yourself something much smaller. What's the next kind thing I can do for myself today? Not this year, not next month, today. Maybe it's taking a shower, making soup instead of skipping dinner, replying to one email instead of 20, going to bed early. Tiny acts of care don't look impressive, but they become anchors that help you stay with yourself. And something else I think is important, let people misunderstand. This can be one of the loneliest parts of the descent. The people around you often want to help. But if they've never experienced an identity collapse themselves, they may offer solutions when what you really need is understanding. They'll tell you to stay busy, think positively, move on, give it time. They're trying to make you feel better. But sometimes those words make you feel even more alone. You don't have to rush your healing so that other people feel comfortable. The descent, annoyingly, has its own pace. and it cannot be rushed without leaving parts of yourself behind. Finally, stop trying to find the new you. I hear this all the time. I just want to feel like myself again. But maybe that isn't what this phase is asking. Maybe it isn't asking you to become the old version of you or to invent a better one. Maybe it's simply asking you to stop performing the identity you've already outgrown. The woman who emerges after the descent isn't created through effort. She appears because, little by little, everything that wasn't truly her has fallen away. During the descent, progress looks very different from what we're used to. It might look like saying no without apologizing, crying instead of pretending you're fine, booking a therapy session, making yourself dinner, going for a short walk, resting without feeling guilty, choosing just for today not to abandon yourself. From the outside, it can look as though nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, your whole inner world is reorganizing. And if that's where you are right now, I hope you'll remember this. You do not have to earn your own care, especially here. In the threshold framework that I created, the descent is one of the most demanding phases you'll ever move through. That isn't because you're doing it wrong, it's because so much is being asked to fall away before something more honest can take its place. So if all you do today is feed yourself, rest, take a shower, or speak to yourself with a little more kindness than you did yesterday, that is not falling behind. That is the work. If you'd like support understanding where you are in your own threshold, I offer threshold mapping sessions, a gentle space to explore the phase you're in and what your nervous system might need most right now. And if this video helped you feel less alone, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me, what's one small way you're choosing not to abandon yourself today?